Hi everyone, welcome to CLASSMATE ACADEMY. ఈరోజు April 1st 2026 కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ గురించి డిస్కస్ చేద్దాము. ఇందులో ద ఫస్ట్ కరెంట్ అఫైర్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఆర్టమిస్ మిషన్ 2. సో ఈ ఆర్టమిస్ మిషన్ వచ్చేసి మెయిన్ ఇట్స్ ఏ లూనార్ మిషన్. ఇది మనకి 3 స్టేజెస్లో ఉంటుంది, వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ద ఫస్ట్ స్టేజ్ ఇస్ ఆల్రెడీ ఓవర్, దట్ ఈస్ ఆర్టమిస్ 1 2022, వేర్ దే జస్ట్ టెస్ట్ ఫ్లైట్ జరిగిందనమాట వితౌట్ ఎనీ క్రూ. కానీ ఇప్పుడు కాంటాక్ట్స్ ఏంటంటే April 1st 2026 రోజు దీనికి కౌంట్ డౌన్ స్టార్ట్ అయిందనమాట. ఆర్టమిస్ 2 మిషన్ది కౌంట్ డౌన్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. సో ఇందులో అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే దిస్ ద ఫస్ట్ లూనార్ మిషన్ వేర్ యూ కెన్ సీ 4 people, దట్ ఈస్ యూ కెన్ సీ ఏ క్రూ దట్ దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ నియర్ ద మూన్ అనమాట. దీస్ ఆర్ ద 4 crew దట్ యూ కెన్ సీ astronauts. ఇందులో వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ astronauts? ద NASA, because Artemis mission is launched by NASA. So the NASA tried to maintain the diversity. For example, here you can see Victor Glover. He is the first black man. Okay, so first black man to travel into space. So they try to maintain diversity. You can see first woman to enter into the lunar, first woman, and he is the first Canadian. Okay, Jeremy Hansen is the first Canadian. So there you can see this, one is Canadian, one is woman, other one is black man. Victor Glover is very important, he is the pilot, because previously he worked in American Air Force also. So then followed by Christiana Koch. See, Christiana Koch is again NASA mission specialist anamata ima. I think she is the woman with the longest hours of space flight, more than at around 328-330 hours sama space lone undanamata. So she is also having very good experience, very good expertise as well. Again, Jeremy Hansen as well, he is also mission specialist, whereas the commander, which was led by Weissman. So Weissman is going to lead this particular mission. So ee mission lo endante mainly the America wants to send their astronauts onto the moon. So intaku mundu మనం ఎప్పుడు చూసుకుంటే we are having Apollo mission. So in case of Apollo mission, where you know that first Americans were landed on the moon, అంటే after 50 years తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ చూడొచ్చు Apollo 17 1972, ఆ తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇన్ ద ఇయర్ 2026లో ఇప్పుడు ఆర్టమిస్ 2 చేస్తున్నారు. బట్ ద మెయిన్ ఎయిమ్ ఈస్ ఆర్టమిస్ 3 అనమాట, వేర్ దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యావ్ ఎ ప్లాన్డ్ హ్యూమన్ మూన్ ల్యాండింగ్ జరుగుతుందన్నమాట. సో వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో దిస్ ద కాంటెక్స్ట్ అంటే కౌంట్ డౌన్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. అమెరికా మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళ ఆస్ట్రోనాట్స్ని స్పేస్లోకి పంపిద్దాం అనుకుంటుంది, పర్టికులర్లీ లూనార్ మిషన్ ఇది. సో మూన్ దగ్గరికి పంపిస్తున్నారు అనమాట. సో ఇట్స్ ల్యాండింగ్, కానీ ల్యాండ్ చేయడానికి అగైన్ దే హ్యావ్స్ టు గో టు వేరియస్ స్టేజెస్ లైక్ ఆర్టమిస్ 1, ఆర్టమిస్ 2 అండ్ ఆర్టమిస్ 3. సో దేని మీద వెళ్తున్నారు? ఆబ్వియస్లీ దిస్ కండక్టెడ్ బై నాసా. రాకెట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో దిస్ రాకెట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ SLS. ఓకే, SLS. Obviously, if you see this SLS rocket, space launch system, it is very most powerful rocket right now in the world. So this rocket has the ability to carry the payload of more than 90 tons into low earth orbit. Very important. Even this has the ability to carry 27 tons into the moon. సో మూన్ దగ్గరికి దాదాపు ఇది 27 టన్స్ని క్యారీ చేయగలుగుతుంది. సో యూ కంపేర్ దిస్ SLS రాకెట్స్ విత్ ఇండియాస్ మోస్ట్ పవర్ఫుల్ రాకెట్. ఇండియాస్ మోస్ట్ పవర్ఫుల్ రాకెట్ ఈస్ లాంచ్ వెహికల్ 3. ఓకే, లాంచ్ వెహికల్ 3 అనమాట. సో దిస్ సేమ్ లాంచ్ వెహికల్ 3 ఈస్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ as GSLV Mark 3 as well. So launch vehicle is a GSLV Mark 3. Generally it has around 4,000 kg when it enters geostationary transfer orbit, GTO. Ade if you want to launch at low earth orbit, so it can carry around 10% of your SLS. So that is roughly around 9,000 kg into the LEO. So compare చేసుకుంటే అసలు మన రాకెట్ నథింగ్ అండి, సింపుల్ చెప్పాలంటే. వెరీ పవర్ఫుల్ రాకెట్. సో ఈ రాకెట్లో చూసుకుంటే మీరు యూ హ్యావ్ 2 సాలిడ్ బూస్టర్స్. ఇక్కడ మీరు చూడొచ్చు, దీస్ ఆర్ ద 2 సాలిడ్ రాక్ బూస్టర్స్, solid rocket boosters. Now at the center you can see this part, at the center you can see the core stage. This is your core stage anamata. Ikkada mee core stage kuda untundi. So once these solid boosters are burned, then obviously core stage is going to ignite. So it may burn around 6 to 8 minutes. Then once it is done, again you are having a cryogenic stage here also. Interim cryogenic stage is there. Interim cryogenic stage is there. Above that, you can see a capsule where these 4 astronauts are being carried, and that is called as Orion space capsule. This is very, very, very important for the exam. Remember this Orion space capsule carrying the 4 astronauts as well. Okay. So yes, so this about the mission. So how this mission is going to be conducted? Is rocket gurinchi. So మనకి రాకెట్ ఉంది, సాలిడ్ బూస్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, SLS రాకెట్ ఉంది, మనకి క్రయోజెనిక్ సిస్టమ్ కూడా ఉంది మనకి. అగైన్ యూ కెన్ సీ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ఈవెన్ ఓరియన్ స్పేస్ క్యాప్సూల్ క్యారియింగ్ 4 మెంబర్స్ అనమాట. సో మొత్తానికి ఏంటంటే మనకి ఈ పార్ట్ మాత్రమే వెళ్తుంది అనమాట. అంటే ఆబ్వియస్లీ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ఏ స్పేస్ క్యాప్సూల్, బిలో ద సబ్ క్యాప్సూల్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఏ థ్రస్టర్స్ ఉంటాయి ఇక్కడ, మెయిన్ ఇట్ హెల్ప్స్ ఇన్ ద ప్రొపల్షన్ సిస్టమ్. ఓకే, ప్రొపల్షన్ సిస్టమ్ కూడా ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి మూవ్ ఇన్ టు ద స్పేస్. ఇది స్పేస్లోకి వెళ్తుంది. ఆబ్వియస్లీ మీకు ఈ సాలిడ్ రాక్ బూస్టర్స్ కానివ్వండి, ఈ కోర్ స్టేజ్ కానివ్వండి, ఈ క్రయోజెనిక్ స్టేజ్లో ఎట్లా ఇవన్నీ కూడా డిటాచ్ అయిపోతాయి అనమాట ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది డే. బై ద టైమ్ ఇట్ రీచెస్ టు ద ఎర్త్ ఆర్బిట్, ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి డిటాచ్డ్. ఓకే, నౌ లెట్స్ సీ ద మిషన్, హౌ ద మిషన్ గోస్ ఆన్. ఇఫ్ యూ సీ దిస్ మిషన్, ఫస్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు లాంచ్ ఫ్రమ్ కెనడీ స్పేస్ సెంటర్. ఓకే, కెనడీ స్పేస్ సెంటర్ ఇన్ ఫ్లోరిడా, అక్కడ నుంచి లాంచ్ అవుతుంది. సో దిస్ ఆల్సో వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ద ఎగ్జామ్. సో వన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ లాంచ్డ్ హియర్, మీరు ఇక్కడ చూడొచ్చు, ఇక్కడ నుంచి లాంచ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇదేమవుతుందంటే ఇట్ కీప్ ఆన్ మూవింగ్, అండ్ ఫస్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యావ్ 2 రౌండ్స్ అరౌండ్ ద ఎర్త్. సో ఎర్త్ చుట్టూ 2 సార్లు తిరుగుతుంది అనమాట ఇది. సో 1 అండ్ అగైన్ 2. సో మీకు ఒకసారి ఎర్త్ ఆర్బిట్లోకి వచ్చేసరికి అన్ని జస్ట్ ఇట్ లెఫ్ట్ విత్ ఓన్లీ దట్ క్యాప్సూల్, దెన్ ఫాలోడ్ బై యూ హ్యావ్ సమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొపల్షన్ సిస్టమ్. సో వన్స్ ఇట్ had 2 turns around earth, 2 orbits around the earth, now it is going to enter into the lunar orbit anamata. So this phase is generally considered as like trans-lunar injection. So this phase is like your trans-lunar injection. So once enters into your moon, so now the main aim of the mission is mainly to study the far side of the moon. This is the near side of the moon that is visible from the earth. ఎర్త్ నుంచి ఏ పార్ట్ అయితే మీకు కనపడదో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఫార్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ద మూన్ అనమాట ఇక్కడికి. సో దే వాంట్ టు స్టడీ దిస్ ఏరియా. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ అరౌండ్ దిస్ పర్టిక్యులర్ మూన్. సో దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బీ సమ్వేర్ అరౌండ్ 4,000 miles. Okay, they are be around 4,000 miles from the surface of the moon as well. So they are going to stay, and again they are going to return back. So while it is returned back, it is like a free return trajectory. So it is free return trajectory. So why it is called as free return? Because when it is coming, obviously the gravitational pull of the earth is very high, so that it is going to pull towards the earth. So that is the reason we use a word called as a free return trajectory as well. If you see the total time, it's going to spend around 4 days here. The total time is around 10 days. That is very much important. So duration is total 10 days. And what is the main trajectory? Already said that moon flyby. They are not going to land on the moon. Just they are going to come across the moon as well. Again, they are going to return back to the earth. So this is the some important points regarding Artemis mission. That is a lunar mission of NASA. Very much important. Next, delimitation exercise. So because it is the April 1st, 2026, obviously the government started the census. Okay, so once the census is over, again the government is going to appoint a delimitation commission. So that is the reason it was in the news. So they said that delimitation exercise to begin after census 2027. See, if you see here delimitation exercise, what is the meaning of delimitation? See, we are having Lok Sabha at the center in parliament. At the same time, we are having legislative assemblies in the state. So how many Lok Sabha seats and how many legislative council constituencies should be there? So that depends upon the population. So that is the reason after every census, they have to appoint a delimitation commission. Okay, mainly they are going to adjust these constituencies based upon the population, so that they can maintain the equality anamata. So కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే, because actually it has to census has to happen in the year 2021, but because of COVID it was been delayed, and now finally April 1st 2026 they started this particular census as well. So delimitation is nothing but a redrawing of boundaries of Lok Sabha constituencies as well as state legislative assembly constituencies. So this is the process that happens after every census anamata. Now in this article 82 of the constitution, very very important. Article 82 of the Constitution talks about the delimitation process in the Parliament, whereas Article 170 talks about delimitation in case of state legislative assemblies. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే delimitation commission ఎవరు ఫామ్ చేస్తారో ఆర్టికల్ 82 is very very important. సో ఇప్పుడు how many times this delimitation commission has been formed? And remember that even the article 82 says that there should be a delimitation commission, mainly they have to draw various constitutions based upon the population. Further, the government has to appoint a delimitation commission. So that is the reason delimitation commission comes under the statutory body. It's not a constitutional body. So that is the reason Government of India passed Delimitation Act. So you can see there are 4 delimitation commissions can be seen. The first one was in the year 1951, then followed by 1961 after 10 years. Again in the year 1971, again after 10 years. But after 1971, what has happened is, because there is an increase in the population, the government want to control the population. So what they did is, they stopped this delimitation up to 2001. Until 2011, they stopped this particular delimitation process ni aaparanamata. So this year 2001 is very very important. Then after that, again in the year 2001, the 4th delimitation commission says that these seats in the Lok Sabha and the legislative assemblies is going to freeze until 2026. And remember, this delimitation is very very important for 2 reasons. First one, they are going to increase the number of Lok Sabha seats and also seats in the legislative assemblies, number 1. And then number 2, the Government of India already provided 33% reservation for women in both parliament as well as legislative assemblies. So now there will be a higher chances of allocating more seats to the women as well. So you can bring some kind of gender justice here as well. So here 42nd Amendment 1976 is very very important, where they froze the number of seats up to 2001. Then exactly double this 42, you are having 84 Amendment of 2002. So they froze the seats up to 2026. Now various census is going on, so they are going to form this delimitation commission in the year 2027. Now who is going to form this commission? Remember, President, very 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 important. So the President is going to appoint delimitation commission, very 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 important, after consulting with the election commission. If you see the composition of a delimitation commission, obviously delimitation commission, there should be a retired Supreme Court judge as a chairperson, very very important. Then followed by the election commissioner. Both your chief election commissioner as well as a state election commissioners can be the members of this particular delimitation commission. Obviously they are going to submit the report to the government, and obviously that report has some statutory basis as well. The decisions have a force of law, statutory body. Okay, not only that, you cannot even challenge this particular report in any court, saying that this report is not according to the constitution, or this particular delimitation commission is not providing justice to the backward sections or other sections of the people. Ala cheppi mana court ki velladani kuda emi ledanamata. Okay, so this about your delimitation commission. So remember article 82, that is very much important. Article 17 talks about parliament. 79 talks about parliament. Remember these 2. Okay, 9p. So 80 talks about Rajya Sabha, 81 talks about Lok Sabha, and 82, article 82 talks about a delimitation commission as well. So remember these 4 articles, very very important for any exam in India, including SSC and all those examinations. Next one, Modi launches a semiconductor plant in Gujarat. So why it was in the news and why we have to remember for the exam. So there is a company by name called as Keynes Technologies. So these Keynes Technologies mainly works in the electrical industry. And nowadays these people also ventured into a semiconductor industry as well. So even they are going to make the chips and they are going to export to the US. So they are manufacturing these semiconductor devices for the US based plant anamata. So why it was in the news? It was in the news because of the West Asian turmoil, where you can see there is a lot of drawbacks on the mainly logistics maintenance. So now India wants to gear up to tap the potential of semiconductor industry. So here you can see for this reason India launched various missions anamata. Indian semiconductor mission was launched. So in this semiconductor mission, the main importance is given to design of the chips. Not only design, fabrication is very very important. Fabrication of the chip. After fabrication of chip, again you can see packaging is also very very important. So after fabrication, you will have a packaging. So they are giving more importance to packaging as well. So this is under ISM 1.0, 1.0. But last year, 2025, government launched ISM 2.0. So this ISM 2.0 talks about this part in the newspaper given in the Indian Express. That is mainly they are going to prepare a full stack Indian semiconductor ecosystem. What is the meaning of a full stack Indian semiconductor ecosystem? Yes, we want raw materials, very, very, very important. Okay, for manufacturing of these chips, the most important is we require a lot of critical minerals. Okay, so that is the reason even recently also India also became the member of PAC Silica as well. So mainly deals with the logistics of critical minerals. So raw material. From raw material to the manufacturing, very, very, very important. That's where we are going to focus more on that. Even the manufacturing of these devices, mainly for the global needs. So we have to prepare in India and we have to expose to the global needs as well. So this is very, very important. Now the second important is what exactly they opened is a semiconductor assembly test facility, semiconductor assembly and test facility that can be seen in Gujarat at a place called as very, very important Sanand. So the quote is something like this: Sanand to Silicon Valley. So that's what they are going to export this chips as well. Next one. So there is a bill in regarding Andhra Pradesh capital. So what exactly is this is, see, in the year 2014, Andhra Pradesh was formed according to Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act of 2014. In this particular act, there is a section, very, very important section, that is section 5. Section 5. What section 5 of the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act talks about is, according to this section 5, Hyderabad will be the capital for Andhra Pradesh not exceeding 10 years. So Hyderabad will be the capital for not exceeding 10 years. Not exceeding 10 years. But anyway, when Chandrababu Naidu became the chief minister initially, he declared Amaravati as the capital. Again, when Jagan Mohan Reddy again became the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, he brought a bill that is called as AP Decentralization and Inclusive Development of All Regions and Inclusive Development of All Regions Bill in the year 2020. So what happened here is, according to this bill, that is AP Decentralization and Inclusive Development of All Regions, there are 3 capitals for Andhra Pradesh. One is the legislative capital, that is Amaravati, executive capital, Visakhapatnam, and Kurnool was the judicial capital. Again, this bill was withdrawn. Again, in the year 2024, again Chandrababu Naidu became the chief minister. Now, to avoid this kind of decisions, now Chandrababu Naidu want to give that statutory basis to the particular Amaravati, so that Amaravati could be the capital of Andhra Pradesh. So it was placed in Lok Sabha today, that is April 1st, 2026. That is the constitution. So mainly they want that Amaravati to get the statutory basis as the Andhra Pradesh capital, so that you could not change this. So this about your bill on Andhra Pradesh capital. Next one. Stealth freight INS Dunagiri, very, very, very important. So when we are preparing about this defense topic, this one is very, very, very important. So what exactly is this? So this is mainly the talks about stealth guided missile frigates. All this mainly they focus on stealth guided missiles. Guided missiles, and finally it's a frigate. It's also a frigate as well. So what are the guided missiles they are going to launch? There are 2 important missiles. One is BrahMos. Other one is Barak 8. Other one is Barak 8, where it is a surface to air missile. It's a surface to air missile as well. And this particular frigate, that is a stealth frigate. Okay, stealth means there is a different definition of stealth. So the stealth mainly helps in reduce the radar signature, reducing the radar signature. That is very, very important. Otherwise, the enemies easily can find out this particular frigate. The number 2, reduce IR signature, infrared signature as well. Even they have to reduce acoustic signature, because they will make a lot of noise. Acoustic signature as well. So that's how this particular frigate is going to maintain the stealth. That is very much important. It mainly helps in fighting by firing lot of guided missiles like BrahMos and Barak 8. And why it is in the news? Yes, recently under Project 17A, very, very important. Remember this one? Under Project 17A, a frigate by name called as Dunagiri, very, very important. Dunagiri has been commissioned. This was manufactured at Garden Reach Shipbuilding and Engineers Limited, GRSC Kolkata. GRSC Kolkata. Now what is important here is Project 17A is very, very important. Under this Project 17A, they are going to manufacture around 7 frigates. So 7 stealth frigates మొత్తం under Project 17A. సో ప్రాజెక్ట్ 17A కింద మొత్తం 7 స్టెల్త్ ఫ్రిగేట్స్ని తయారు చేస్తున్నారు అనమాట. ఇందులో 4 వచ్చేసి మజగోవెన్ డాక్ లిమిటెడ్ వాళ్ళు తయారు చేస్తారు. అందులో 3 వచ్చేసి వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఇప్పుడు మనం డిస్కస్ చేసాం కదా, గార్డెన్ రీచ్ షిప్ బిల్డింగ్ ఇంజనీర్స్ వాళ్ళు తయారు చేస్తారనమాట. సో ఇందులో వచ్చేసి మనకి ఫస్ట్ వచ్చేసి ఐఎన్ఎస్ నీలగిరి, అందుకే వీటిని నీలగిరి క్లాస్ అని కూడా అంటారు. సో అన్ని గిరి ఉంటాయండి ఇవన్నీ, లైక్ దునగిరి, ఐఎన్ఎస్ నీలగిరి, ఐఎన్ఎస్ హిమాద్రి, ఐఎన్ఎస్ విందగిరి, ఓకే, ఐఎన్ఎస్ మహేంద్రగిరి, ఐఎన్ఎస్ దూనగిరి. సో ఇది ఇస్ ద 5th అనమాట. ఇది ఇస్ ద 5th షిప్, వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇది ఇస్ ద 5th షిప్ ఆఫ్ నీలగిరి క్లాస్. Okay, you can see this one. This is the INS Dunagiri as well. Okay. Again, if you see the chapter Defense in Science and Technology, you have much more detailed explanation. Now, the most important, India's first digital census of 2017 begins from April 1st. And if you see some of the history, this is the context. Context is very simple. They started the India's first digital census. Why they are using the word digital census? Even they are using the apps in the enumeration. Not only that, they are using the portal. You can see cell enumeration portal can be seen here. So they are using the portal as well. And also they are using CMMS, census management and monitoring services can be seen. Not only that, there are various apps. They can store the data digitally. They are storing the data digitally as well. So that is the reason it is called as India's first digital census 2027. So what is the statutory basis of this particular census? That is very much important. In our constitution, Article 246, very very important. Article 246, in the Article 246 we are having 3 lists. Under this union list, list 69. So this census comes under the central subject, very very important. Only central government can do census, not the state governments. You know, recently Bihar done caste census, Telangana done caste census, but actually the census comes under the union list. So they are getting this statutory basis from here. Not only that, there is one act called as Census Act of 1948. So Census Act of 1948 also give the statutory basis to census as well. So now they are getting the statutory basis, constitutional as well as statutory basis. And who is going to conduct this census? It is conducted by Office of Register General and Census Commissioner. Comes under the Home Ministry, very very important. And you know, in India, initially there was a non-synchronous census can be seen in the year 1872 under Lord Mayo, very very important. Under Lord Mayo, you can see a non-synchronous census. Non-synchronous census means obviously they are done sporadically in the country, not entire country. Akkadakada maatrame census chesaranamata. But from the year 1881 onwards, very very important. From the year 1881 onwards, you can see census for every 10 years. ప్రతి 10 సంవత్సరాలకు ఒకసారి సెన్సస్ అనేది కండక్ట్ చేయడం స్టార్ట్ చేస్తూ వచ్చారనమాట. సో ఈసారి సెన్సెస్లో ఉన్న ప్రత్యేకత ఏంటంటే, దిస్ ఈస్ ద 16th సెన్సస్, వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. 16th సెన్సస్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఇండిపెండెన్స్. తర్వాత ఎన్నోది అంటే హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ అంటే 8th సెన్సస్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ద 8th ఆఫ్టర్ ఇండిపెండెంట్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ద 16th సెన్సస్ ఓవరాల్ as well as 8th after independence. Exactly half చేయండి మీకు వచ్చేస్తుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, నౌ how they are going to conduct? Obviously I said April 1, 2026. They are going to conduct in 2 phases. So this particular census having lot of peculiarities, very very important. The first one is going to conduct in 2 phases. In the first phase, the first one is house listing is going to have. House listing ఉంటుందండి. ఈ హౌసెస్ని ఏం చేస్తారంటే జియో ట్యాగింగ్ చేస్తారనమాట. హౌసెస్ని జియో ట్యాగింగ్ చేస్తారు. జియో ట్యాగింగ్ చేయడమే కాదండి, ఈ హౌస్ డేటాలో ఏమేమి తీసుకుంటారంటే హౌ మెనీ పీపుల్ ఆర్ యాక్సెస్ టు ఎల్పిజి ఎంతమందికి దొరుకుతుంది, ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ ఎంతమందికి దొరుకుతుంది, ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ ఎంతమందికి వస్తుంది, డ్రింకింగ్ వాటర్ ఎంతమందికి ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు, శానిటేషన్ ఎలా ఉంది. సో ఇలాంటి డేటా అనమాట. జస్ట్ ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఇలాంటి డేటా మొత్తం సేకరిస్తారు. రోడ్స్ ఎలా ఉన్నాయి, ఓకే, ఇంట్లో రిఫ్రిజిరేటర్స్ ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి, కార్లు ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి, వెహికల్స్ ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి, అంటే అసెట్స్ కూడా చూస్తారనమాట ఇందులో. సో ఈవెన్ దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు చెక్ ద అసెట్స్ యాజ్ వెల్. సో దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ మెయిన్లీ ఫర్ ద సోషియో ఎకనామిక్ ప్లానింగ్. So this kind of data is very much important. For example, you want to go for the targeting of the government schemes to the particular section of the people. So this kind of data is very much important. You can see geotagging of houses, and you are going to have the house data as well. So that is in your phase 1. In the phase 2 that starts from February 2027, actually you can see the enumeration of people takes place. అందులో వచ్చేసి October 1, 2026 for hilly and snowbound regions. Obviously March 1, 2027 for the rest of India. అప్పటికల్లా మనకి డేటా కలెక్ట్ చేయాలన్నమాట. సో ఈ డేటా కలెక్షన్ కోసం ఎస్ దే ఆర్ యూజింగ్ యాప్స్. ఐ ఆల్రెడీ సెడ్ దట్. ఇది కాకుండా సెల్ఫ్ ఎన్యూమరేషన్ కూడా మీరు చేసుకోవచ్చు. అంటే మీరే లాగిన్ అయిపోయి వెబ్ పోర్టల్లో మన డేటా మనమే ఎక్కించుకోవచ్చు అనమాట. సో దట్ గివ్స్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ అథెంటిసిటీ యాజ్ వెల్. ఓకే, దట్ గివ్స్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ అథెంటిసిటీ. సో దిస్ ఇస్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. అసలు యాక్చువల్గా మనకి 2011 తర్వాత అసలు సెన్ససే లేదు. 2011 తర్వాత మనకి సెన్సస్ లేదనమాట. సో దానివల్ల ఏమైందంటే పాలసీ మేకింగ్ బాగా ఎఫెక్ట్ అయిపోయింది అనమాట. సో ఈ పాలసీ మేకింగ్లో పర్టికులర్లీ ఉమెన్ ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు, చిన్నపిల్లలు ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు, ముసలి వాళ్ళు ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు, బ్యాక్వర్డ్ క్లాసెస్ ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు, డేటా లేదు మన దగ్గర. నాట్ ఓన్లీ దట్, ద బ్యూటీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ సెన్సస్ ఈస్ ఫర్ ద ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ యూ కెన్ సీ ఈవెన్ కాస్ట్ సెన్సస్. యూ కెన్ సీ కాస్ట్ సెన్సస్ ఆఫ్టర్ డేట్ ఈస్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇయర్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, 1931. సో 19 తర్వాత ఫర్ ద ఫస్ట్ టైం వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ ఈవెన్ కాస్ట్ సెన్సెస్ కూడా తీసుకుంటాం అనమాట. సో దట్ యుల్ హ్యావ్ ద నో డేటా. So how many people in different caste. So based upon that they can go for policy making, targeting of welfare schemes, delimitation commissions can be formed based upon this data as well. And this data is very very important mainly for the economic development growth, comparing our population with different countries, understanding the demographic dividend of the country. So all these are the advantages having this kind of a digital census and accessible to data, because it is digital census. Every ministry now have the access to this data. So based upon that they can make their own policies and target some schemes to the people as well. The next one, the last one, Veer Vikram Yadav, persons in news. So recently this IAS officer has been the new head of DGCA, Directorate General of Civil Aviation. So he became the head of this DGCA, under where you can see aviation industry is facing lot of turmoil. So recently also you see that Indigo flights were cancelled without any giving prior intimation as well. So not only that, again many companies are running in losses, and again Udan scheme to give more impetus to the Udan scheme. Again let's see what this person is going to do regarding all those particular problems as well. Thank you very much.